First tonight in the new year, ShotSpotter will be no more. The city of Dayton has announced it will not renew its crime-fighting tool, ShotSpotter, next year. It's a gunshot detection tool, and the city has been using it for the last few years. Mamie Baugh is live from the police department tonight. So, Mamie, explain what's behind this decision.
Well, many reasons, Adam, and one of them is cost. It's costing the city almost $615,000. Now, we do know that the system went live in 2019, and we also know that it's led to arrests in 74 incidents, 55% reduction in all crime categories, and compared to 37. We also do know that it's located in Northwest Dayton.
So, Mamie, Ohio lawmakers just weakened the requirement to carry concealed firearms. Does that weigh into the decision at all?
Well, the Dayton Police Department certainly cited this as one of the reasons in the press release that they sent out to the media. And we do know that that law, which went into effect, allows people to carry firearms without a permit. Now, I spoke with Commissioner Darrell Fairchild, who tells me times have really changed.
We really need to dig in and see what we need to do to keep both our officers safe and our citizens safe in this new environment that's less safe.
Now, coming up at 6:30, we'll hear from residents. Initially, they were opposed to the system when it was first introduced. Back to you.
Mamie, thank you. Ohio Secretary of State Frank LaRose stopping by our studios today, telling us that he's created a new team to combat doubts about the U.S. election system. His office's Public Integrity Division is going to hire investigators to look into election-related crimes. They'll look into instances of voter fraud and suppression, which LaRose says is already rare in the state.
The good news is both of those things are uncommon in Ohio, but we need to keep them rare by making sure that we thoroughly investigate them. Ohioans need to know that if you try to commit a crime related to elections, that you will be caught and you'll face the consequences for doing that.
The Secretary of State's new division opens October 10th, one day before the voter registration deadline. Early voting for the midterms begin October 12th. And Ohio Senator Sherrod Brown in Springfield today. He visited Silfax, a company that makes the parts used in equipment for semiconductor manufacturers like Intel in Raking County. Now, Senator Brown says the recently passed $10 billion CHIPS Act is going to support Ohio manufacturers and position the state to lead in the semiconductor industry. Now, the act also played a crucial role in the $20 billion development of Intel. That's the largest investment in Ohio's history. And Senator Brown says the money will help Silfax with a wider impact than many people think.
But Silfax, I've got to think, is going to grow dramatically at a dramatically faster rate because of the investment with Intel. And this is not a Central Ohio gig. This will reach to where I grew up in Mansfield. It'll reach to Cleveland. It'll reach to Indianapolis. It'll reach to Wheeling. I mean, this is going to be growth in all kinds of feeder companies through the whole state. Ohio is really the #1 manufacturing state in the country, and it hasn't been in the last few years, and it's going to be again.
Senator Brown adds that the huge price tag shouldn't scare anyone. He says it's well worth it because an investment in workers is an investment in technology, which is an investment for the whole country. Well, it has been 1 week now since Hurricane Ian devastated the southern United States, and today the president and the first lady seeing the impacts firsthand. The Bidens touring from the skies via helicopter and on foot. They met with Governor Ron DeSantis, local officials, residents, small business owners in some of the hardest hit areas. The president has extended the federal disaster declaration for Florida for another 30 days and pledges federal support until the state finishes rebuilding.
Jill and I have had you all in our prayers, and I mean that sincerely. And we're here today because we wanted to tell you in person that we're thinking of you and we're not leaving. We're not leaving until this gets done. I promise you that. You got to start from scratch. Got to move again. And it's going to take a lot of time, not weeks or months. It's going to take years.
Now, at least 104 people were killed in the storm. President Biden says search and rescue teams have knocked on 70,000 doors and rescued more than 3,800 people. All right, to weather in our area now, obviously much different. It was warm today again, but it sounds like the bottom's going to drop out pretty soon.
Yeah, by the weekend, we're talking about some of the chilliest air so far of the season. Right now, though, it is beautiful, though. We have lots of sunshine out there. It started out pretty chilly, but we managed to warm up nicely for the afternoon into the upper 70s even. So this is a look at what's going on. 77 is our temperature, lots of sunshine, low humidity. Really doesn't get much better than this. In fact, this is above normal for this time of the year. We managed to warm up pretty nicely. There you see 70s across the board, a little cooler in Bell Fountain at 72, 72 Wapakoneta. So everywhere sitting warmer right now compared to where we were this time yesterday. 7 degrees warmer in Dayton, 6 degrees warmer in Springfield. And tonight, not quite as cool. We'll see lows dropping into the upper 40s, which will be back closer to normal for this time of the year. Still needing a light sweater, a jacket, but I do have some much colder nights in the forecast. Going to talk about that cool blast of air coming up in just a bit.
Natalie, thanks. Pro-life advocates flocking to the Ohio State House tonight from all over the state. It's all part of the first ever Ohio March for Life. Miles Harris shows us the crowd and what they're hoping for before November.
Thousands of pro-life advocates from throughout the entire state of Ohio have gathered here at the Ohio State House, and it's all for Ohio's first March for Life rally. Now, things kicked off at 10 o'clock this morning with the concert, and at 12, that is when the rally would take place. Now, again, thousands of advocates have made their way out here, and organizers, they tell us that the amount of people that have come out here, they hope they have that same impact come election time in November.
This is just a point for us to come together, get excited, make sure we vote on November 8th, and continue the work we've been doing for so long.
And although this is the first March for Life rally here in Ohio, organizers, they hope this is the first for years to come. On your side outside of the Ohio State House, I'm Miles Harris for Dayton 24/7 Now News.
Miles, thanks. And today, OPEC Plus opted to slash oil production by 2 million barrels. Now, this goes back on past pledges to modestly increase and comes after the White House went on a full-scale pressure campaign to prevent this from happening. Now, the president previously released millions of barrels of oil from the strategic reserve to try and help stabilize gas prices. And now his administration says we'll just have to wait and see what's next.
We haven't seen any dramatic shifts in the price of oil. It's still coming in around $90 a barrel. So we're going to have to see how this plays out over the long term.
Now, Russia is a member of OPEC Plus. Reports tell us Moscow's main negotiator in the group was on hand at today's meeting announcing the cuts. The SpaceX Crew 5 mission has launched and made history. Today, the first indigenous woman reached orbit. Her name is Nicole Mann, and she's also the first woman to serve as commander of a SpaceX flight. Also on board with her to the International Space Station, a Japanese and Russian astronaut. It's the first time a Russian cosmonaut launched from the U.S. in 20 years and comes as tensions rise over the war in Ukraine. The Dragon spacecraft will arrive and dock at the ISS tomorrow just before 5 p.m. And Russia, meanwhile, says 4 Ukrainian separatist regions are officially part of that country. President Vladimir Putin signed a law that absorbs those regions after Russia's parliament unanimously ratified the bills. Now, while Russia has been quick to call the land its own, the move breaks international law. Only a few countries with close ties to Russia are expected to recognize the regions as part of Russia. Back in Ohio now, a group says its proposal will help make new land space near the Brent Spence Bridge. Christian Hauser tells us why ODOT says the proposal looks great on paper, but in reality is unrealistic.
Over the past few months, ODOT has been reviewing a proposal by Bridge Forward Cincinnati. The idea is to put the I-75 interchange leading up to the Brent Spence Bridge and the companion bridge that will be built below ground. Now, that would allow concrete to be placed over top, creating up to 30 additional acres of usable city blocks. Now, this would also better connect Queensgate with the downtown area. Now, the department says the proposal looks great on paper, but it's just unworkable in practice. That's because this proposal would create about an 8% grade to get from the interchange to the bridge decks. That's steeper than many mountain grades. And ODOT says that would create safety issues as well as congestion problems. A spokesman for the department says that they will be able to give the cities back about 10 acres of land from the current footprint when the new bridge and interchange are finished. In Cincinnati, I'm Christian Hauser. Back to you.
Christian, thanks. Well, in case you missed it, baseball history has been made. New York Yankees star Aaron Judge set a new American League home run record. He hit his 62nd home run of the season during the Yankees' Tuesday night game against the Rangers. The home run broke the American League record he previously shared with Roger Maris. Now, Judge's 62 homers are the most hit in a single season since Barry Bonds hit 73 for the San Francisco Giants in 2001. But many consider Judge's to be the clean home run record because Bonds and other players to hit more admit to or are suspected of using performance-enhancing drugs. And a lucky guy caught the ball that made Major League history. Corey Eumann says he's not sure if he'll keep the ball, sell it, or give it to Judge. A sports memorabilia auction house has already offered him $2 million for it. As for Judge, he says he would like to have the historic ball if Eumann is willing to sell.
And it is Pinktober, and right now our telethon is underway. I am live here at the Kettering Health Foundation tonight. Coming up, how you can give and the difference your donation can make for cancer patients right here in the Miami Valley.
And tonight we're hearing recordings involving the father of George Wagner IV, who's on trial for the Pike County massacre. What Billy Wagner says about one of the victims who is supposedly his best friend.
Plus, much colder air going to be sliding in later this week. How cold we'll get, that's coming up. You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
Weather Window, presented by the National Weather Desk.
Montana's Glacier National Park is truly magnificent. Meteorologist Jed Kristoff regularly posts fantastic images and videos from the park, showing off the park's scenic vistas and overall beauty. This weekend they're expecting sunshine and warm temperatures. Check out Jed's social posts for more amazing videos.
Want to see your weather photos and videos on TV? Click Chime In on this station's website to share.
October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and Dayton 24/7 Now is doing more than just going pink all month long. We're taking action. We've been doing our part, participating in today's Pinktober Telethon with Kettering Health. And Megan O'Rourke has been there all day. And Megan, I hear you have a very special guest who can tell us more right now.
That's right, Adam. The telethon is going strong, but we are down to our final hour right now, so the push is really underway. So I'm joined now by Matt Werhaftig, the Director of Annual Funds for Kettering Health Foundation. Matt, tell me, how has today been going?
Today's been wonderful. It's been great to see the support that we've received from you guys and the outpouring of support from our community. We couldn't be more thrilled.
If anybody's at home maybe watching this, they've been seeing things throughout the day, on the fence about donating, what kind of difference can a donation make?
You know, I could try to explain it to you, but I think better is to bring my really good friend Nikki Irwin in here, and she can tell you about her own personal breast cancer journey.
Nikki, thanks so much for joining us. Tell me a little bit about your experience with Kettering Health.
My situation is maybe a little bit unique. My breast cancer was found on an MRI because of a recommendation from the Kettering Breast Evaluation Center on my mammogram report that said that because of my family history, my mom is a survivor, and my dense breast tissue, that I was recommended by them that I get an MRI. So I talked with my doctors and advocated for myself to get the MRI, and lo and behold, they found something, but luckily it was very small. It was only 7 millimeters. And Dr. Tuttle was my doctor, and she removed it. It was only the size of a pencil eraser. It was stage 1, and it had not really moved yet, so they found it very, very early. And as you know, early detection saves lives.
So anyone watching today, obviously their gift is going to go to people like Vicki.
Absolutely, absolutely, and we're very appreciative.
Thank you guys so much. We sure appreciate it. And again, as I mentioned, we are down to that last hour for you to donate, so you still have time. But for now, Adam, back to you.
Megan, thanks again. You can donate right now just texting PINK to 345-345 or by scanning the QR code that's right there on your screen. A group of 9 has created a gang of sorts to support breast cancer patients. The self-proclaimed gang of seamstresses makes specialty shirts to cheer up people going through treatment. Each shirt has a special zipper so that ports can be easily accessed during treatment.
It's very satisfying for us because to put zippers in, frankly, is boring and everything, but it keeps us going knowing that we're helping. And it's almost addictive after a while. You just want to do it because you know that somebody is grateful.
So coming up at 6:30 over on Fox 45, we'll share that full story of how the gang got started, plus how you can help supporting them in supporting local patients.
Well, it's been a beautiful day today. Chilly start, but it's a warm afternoon, mostly sunny skies. We do have a few clouds increasing from just off to our west. This is as our next weather maker begins to approach us. You can see some showers over in Iowa, Illinois, into Missouri. That is our next weather maker that will be pushing its way closer in. So clouds continue to build in overnight. Low temperatures not quite as chilly. We're tracking upper 40s, right around 50 degrees. Very small chance for shower. This is as our first front makes its way in. High temperatures, they're going to be back into the mid 70s for our Thursday afternoon. But Thursday night, that's when we get our second cold front to swing through. And this is going to be bringing us that much colder air. It will bring us a slight chance for rain Thursday night into Friday. And then notice by Friday afternoon, temperatures really staying in the 50s throughout the day. That's going to be below normal for this time of the year. We're going to be tracking those chilly conditions really through the rest of the week. I'm going to talk about the chilly nights we'll have ahead coming up in just a bit.
Natalie, thank you. In the trial of George Wagner IV today, 2 hours of recordings were played for the jury in Pike County Court. Now, it involves George's father, Billy, who met with Ohio BCI agents less than 5 months after those murders in 2016. Both George and Billy are charged in the murders of 8 members of the Roden and Gilley families. Billy will go on trial later this year. Now, Billy Wagner claims he and victim Chris Roden Sr. were best friends and that he suspected the killings were over a drug deal.
Oh, Chris. Like I said, he's my best friend. And I always told him, me and him, our plan was going to buy a bar on the beach and just sit there and, get drunk, sit on the beach and, play with the strippers.
Well, in their opening statement, prosecutors say Billy was actually the one to kill Chris Roden Sr. And earlier this week, a friend of Billy's testified to alerting BCI that he thought Billy was going to kill somebody. That trial continues Thursday. We'll bring you the latest updates tomorrow. Actor Alec Baldwin has reached a settlement with the family of a woman killed on the set of the film Rust. Helena Hutchins died after she was shot by a gun held by Baldwin. Now, he denies pulling the trigger on what was supposed to be a prop gun. Hutchinson's family filed a wrongful death lawsuit against Baldwin and others. Now, financial terms were not disclosed, so we're not sure how much money is involved here. But we do know Hutchinson's widower will be an executive producer on the film and get a portion of the profits that the movie's production will resume next year, by the way. All right, here is a live look from our Kettering Health Sky Cam now. As Natalie mentioned, it was a warm day today, but that bottom's going to fall out soon.
That's right. By Friday, we're talking about that much chillier weather that's going to make its way back into the region. So this is a look at what's going on across the area for tomorrow. High temperatures back into the mid 70s. We are tracking upper 50s on Friday as well as for our Saturday. So we do start to see those chilly conditions. Now keep in mind our normal high temperature right around 70 degrees. So we're going to be well below that. And our low temperatures are going to be dropping into the 30s for both Saturday night as well as for our early Saturday morning. So some frost is looking pretty likely for us. So if you have any sensitive plants, you'll want to prepare to protect those. But we do warm back up, upper 60s by Monday. Coming up, I'll have a look at that 7-day, talk about some of the fall colors we have across the area too.
Natalie, thanks. A new sport sweeping the nation. Still ahead, the sport of pickleball and how you can take your pick to take part in sports leagues. You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
The Dayton 24/7 Now News app, brought to you by the Jeff Schmidt Auto Group.
Dayton 24/7 Now still out at the Kettering Health Foundation for the all-day Pinktober telethon. Let's check back in with Megan, who's been out there all day. Megan, how's it going out there?
Adam, things are going great out here, and the good news is the telethon isn't over just yet. We still have just about another hour, or half hour, until 7 o'clock.
I'm told there have been lots of generous donations coming in. In fact, just a few minutes ago, I was told another $1,000 donation was committed. So that is just awesome. And we want to see that continuing to happen all the way up into 7 o'clock and even beyond. Now, again, things are going to be wrapping up in just about 30 minutes. So you do have time to still pick up your phone and make that contribution. You can call the number right there on your screen, or you can text the code word PINK to the number 345-345. All right.
Megan, thanks. And again, you can donate right now by texting PINK to 345-345, or you can just scan that QR code that's on your screen there. Well, pickleball is taking the nation by storm. Tej Joshi, host of Good Day Dayton, explains what exactly it is and where you can try out a whole bunch of sports right here in Dayton.
Pickleball is a huge craze sweeping the entire nation right now, and that includes here in the Miami Valley. One local organization that'll help you play some pickleball is Dayton Sportial, and joining us now from Dayton Sportial is Buddy Pitts. Buddy, how you doing today?
I'm doing well, man. How are you?
I'm doing really well. Let's explain really quick for those who don't know, what exactly is pickleball? We see some of the apparatus here in your hand.
Yeah, so pickleball is like a cross between, we'll say, tennis and oversized ping pong. All right, so you got this paddle, you got a wiffle ball-like ball here. We offer our leagues for any skill level, whether it be novice, beginner to advanced. All right, we'll pair you up and we'll get you playing.
Like you said, you'll get everybody playing, and that's in a league that's competitive, but not uber super competitive. Let's hear about this social sports league that you guys put on through Dayton Sportial, and how exactly do people sign up?
Yeah, absolutely, dude. So we do social sports leagues all around the city of Dayton. That includes, but not limited to, bowling, euchre, cornhole, pickleball, tennis, kickball during the summertime, which we just got done with. And so you can find out all that information on DaytonSportial.com. You'll see it when our registration closes and begins.
Just as Buddy put it, you can sign up for pickleball or any of the other sports leagues they offer. Buddy, thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you, man.
Well, a great day for really any outdoor activity. Great day to look at some of the fall colors. In fact, I don't know about you, but I noticed a big difference from yesterday and today with some of the colors really starting to show here. I saw this tree in my neighborhood earlier into the day, but I would love to see any fall colors you have where you live. You can chime them in, Dayton247now.com. Click chime in. We may show those photos on air. This is a look at our leaf raking forecast, though, shaping up really nicely next several days. We do have a small chance for rain both tomorrow and Wednesday or Friday, as we will be seeing those temperatures on the cooler side as a cold front does swing its way through. So here is that extended forecast. Notice how much cooler we get. Upper 50s Friday, Saturday. And then our lows dropping into the mid-30s. So Saturday and Sunday morning, we're talking about some pretty chilly mornings. Frost is looking pretty likely. So if you do have any of those plants outside, you want to make sure that are protected. You'll want to keep that in mind for this weekend. But we do warm back up into the 70s by next week. But certainly a big drop by this weekend.
Big drop, and really not a lot of rain the last week or so.
We could use some rain, but not really seeing too much in our 7-day forecast.
Not for a while. All right. Well, that does it for us. We're over on Fox 45 next. Join us there.